Tonight on Chronicle,
has a woodchuck ever killed anybody before?
Only once.
Okay.
it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Mark it.
What happens when Sean takes on some unwanted guests?
You said you wanted to play.
I did, but these aren't like bite-proof, are they?
No.
Okay. Let's all just be real quiet, like.
You regretting this decision, Sean?
I'm starting to, yeah.
He was looking for scallops and found a mastodon.
This is a mastodon jaw fragment that has one tooth embedded in it.
Over 10,000 years of history captured in a fisherman's net.
People were really, their eyes just like were so big looking at that, and they got to see it coming right off the boat.
Plus, Fritz Weatherby's New Hampshire.
Groveton, New Hampshire has a Medal of Honor winner. I'll tell you the story on New Hampshire Chronicle.
That's next on Chronicle.
Hi there, everybody. We are continuing our tour of the places that you chose as the best in the state. And this one takes us just north of the traffic circle here in Lee.
I know. Look behind us. It looks very modest, this little spot here along the road, but they are serving up the best burgers that you're going to find in the state of New Hampshire, as voted by you, our viewers.
And you can see people are lining up here at lunchtime, right? The Lee Circle Grocery on Wheels, been here for about 5 years, and now it's very famous for their hamburgers.
Yes, and people come from Massachusetts to have a burger every week. So that gives you just a sense for, you know, how good they are.
I can't wait to dig in here.
I know. Well, are you going to flip burgers here? Because I know you have this new thing, Sean Takes On Your Job. There's a new addition tonight, right?
I don't think they want me in the kitchen there. Yeah, there is a new addition. You know, there's a company out there based out of Barrington that their job every day, they wrestle things like raccoons and skunks. Yeah, they do pest control, and they let me give it a try. And yes, we came face to face with wild animals. It may be the last thing you want to find hiding in or around your house. A bat, a raccoon, maybe a skunk. If you want them out, you may end up calling the guys from Advanced Wildlife Control in Barrington. Guys with years of experience and wild encounters.
You're at the top of a 40-foot ladder with a hose spraying, and these bats are just circling all around your head. They're just everywhere.
For them, coming face to face with wild animals,
Mark it.
that's just another day at the office. 7 days a week, this crew can be called out for pests. On this day, I added one more, me.
Because the woodchucks typically will have a second entrance or an emergency exit.
They let me try out a typical day in wildlife control. We started at a seaside home with a woodchuck problem.
There is a woodchuck in the back trap, so they're going to get to carry that back here, and I'm going to make up some bait.
Much of what they do involves baiting traps to catch the pest animal with semi-appealing and all-natural bait, salad. We also have to retrieve the trap with the captured live animal. Has a woodchuck ever killed anybody before?
Only once.
Okay. Springtime is especially busy for calls like this woodchuck, who apparently made himself at home under the deck.
They'll lay on the grass here, and homeowners will come out and complain about how brazen they are because they don't care. They're just relaxing, enjoying this.
So you're saying they're brazen, but you want me to pick that up?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he'll do great. You said you wanted to play.
I did, but these aren't like bite-proof, are they?
No.
Okay. And with that, another woodchuck is removed nervously. Let's all just be real quiet, like. Not much drama on this call, but these guys will often meet these creatures in small spaces or up chimneys using their hands.
I don't think I've been bit by anything big. Missed a couple times. Got bit by a squirrel. That hurt a lot.
We left our set trap and headed to check another trap, this time for raccoons. The raccoon wasn't captured, but he did get the bait, so we change up to large marshmallows coated with fruit paste. Yum.
Just chuck it all the way to the back. Throw it. Well, take two. Take three. There you go. So that's all set for him to walk in there. He won't get our bait. And we'll catch him.
raccoon buffet ready. Mike says over the years he's encountered just about any animal you can think of. Porcupines, squirrels, skunks, probably their most common call, bats. And the capture often happens at the end of a tall ladder or on a roof. On a busy day, Mike's truck gets full.
I had 2 raccoons, a possum, a woodchuck, and there was either 1 or 2 skunks.
Their tool of choice to capture the evicted tenants, the pull cord noose pole.
It's a fine line as to when you pull it and when you don't pull it. If you pull it too early and you miss her and she goes back down, she's not going to want to come back up.
Something we saw play out at this home in Rochester. Did you try to get rid of the raccoon?
Yes, I did myself.
Homeowner Mark LaPierre discovered raccoons in his attic.
I didn't feel I should be the one to go in and try and snag them or something.
So he called Advanced Wildlife Control.
See what we get.
And we headed up into a tiny, hot attic space where, yes, there was one live raccoon.
Heading for the right.
Walking on 2x4s, we crawled to the far side of the attic, armed only with noose poles, flashlights, a cage, and my camera.
You regretting this decision, Sean?
I'm starting to, yeah. Mike asked me to hang back as they made capture attempt number 1.
Arthur. Stay right still, Sean.
Not to worry, cameraman Chris Shepard kept her at bay with his best cat hiss.
Down here.
With the raccoon cornered just feet away, Mike and Chris made attempt number 2.
Mark it.
These captures can sometimes take hours. In this case, third time was a charm.
I got it. Take a trap.
Only problem, the smaller traps weren't big enough. That meant yours truly had to stop filming and go get the bigger trap.
Sean's coming.
After a few minutes of wrestling, the raccoon was safely in the cage. Mike says this was pretty typical for a live capture.
They can lay dormant and just let you catch them, or they can be really aggressive. If that would have been a female with young up there, she'd have been 10 times worse.
With our adrenaline still pumping, the cage was removed down the ladder, and the team was ready to add another story.
Now, I'd like to think that the most important part of that was the guy who handed the cage at the end there.
That was amazing. You were very nimble across those joists.
Well, I was fearing for my life. I thought I was going to get bitten by a raccoon.
It's amazing how you could focus when you think you're going to die.
Yes, that's true.
Part of the service can include cleanup, insulation repairs, or prevention devices like metal screening.
Now that we know nothing's in that attic, we want to stop them from being able to go in.
But other attics are occupied, meaning more encounters like this one. It begs the question, are these guys afraid of anything?
Like I said, both Heath and I would deal with animals all the time, but if it came down to hornets and bees, we're gone. Goodbye. We don't like them. They hurt.
Coming up, Groveton's Medal of Honor winner.
Also ahead,
And we would never, for instance, have thought that elephants, basically, or close relatives of elephants, were walking around New Hampshire 10,000 years ago, right? And without specimens like this.
Welcome back, folks, to the Lee Circle Grocery on Wheels, and we are getting an idea of why the burgers are so famous here. This is the rodeo burger, and they look good. The owner, Rodney, tells us there's a reason why people really like these burgers.
Yeah, the rodeo, bacon, some fried onion rings and barbecue sauce.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with that. But they do grind their own meat every day right here. They used to own a grocery, so they're used to doing that. So he says that's what makes them the best.
That was the secret.
Of course, they do have fried seafood here as well, and they even have a monster lobster sub.
And that looks good too. Speaking of seafood, by the way, you know, fishermen out there, they say that it's in the blood, but that industry has seen a lot of tough economic times recently.
Yeah, and Mike Anderson of Rye, he's been fishing for many years, and he's used to hauling in scallops and shrimp, but over the years, as Jen Crompton found out, they've hauled in some ancient creatures as well.
The Rimrack steams into Rye Harbor. Another long day at sea for Captain Mike Anderson. He's fished out of Rye for over 30 years, rigging his boat to catch everything from ground fish to shrimp, herring, squid, and lately, scallops.
This is the back end of it, okay? Those chains drag on the bottom, and they tickle the stuff up, and it goes up inside this mesh bag.
Summer's 27-year-old Kelsey is first mate with Dad. Even helps Mom Patty sell them fresh off the boat at the dock. That after a day on deck, sorting the scallop shells from other stuff they've dredged up from the bottom. Over the years, they've seen it all. Purple shells, whale vertebrae, even blue crabs.
And we get a lot of sand dollars. We get the occasional rubber boot, some old glass bottles. And recently we came across a mastodon tooth, so that was pretty exciting.
That's right, the tooth of an ancient mastodon. And not just the tooth, but part of the jaw as well. Just a few months after, her dad found a mammoth tooth in a pile of dredged scallops and stones. They contacted a UNH expert in paleontology and geology to identify the finds.
It's clear it's a mammoth tooth because it has these very distinct crests that run across it, and it's quite a large tooth, as you can see.
The two distinct fossils were found a few miles apart off the New Hampshire coast in very good condition, each well over 10,000 years old.
This is a mastodon jaw fragment that has one tooth embedded in it, and that tooth, you can see, is quite different from the mammoth.
Judging by the size, he says it died as a juvenile. There's an adult tooth inside the jawbone that hadn't yet emerged.
This is a beautiful